In round one, won the die roll. I would like to play first, especially with this kind of deck. Well, this is an awkward hand. Do I want to keep it? I can play my Feet of Resistance. I got those away. I don't have a black source. Sad day. Never fun to mulligan. This is a horrible hand. I have 8 white sources. I think I mull this also. I'm not sure. This one's a little closer. My opponent did mull as well, so I'm not going to be super far behind at least. This I like. I have my 2 main sources and a morph. It's kind of like mulling down to 4 because I have this, like, you know, finisher here. But my opponent also mulled to 5, so this might actually be a game. Opponent has the Mount 10. Well, we'll play our Scoured Baron now that we drew it. And then, yeah, rock and roll this Watcher of the Roost. Next turn, face down, I presume. Might just do this for 2 life, because I'm probably just playing the Horde Mate no matter what. I'm not going to worry about raid or anything. And then just try to win in the air? Question mark? We'll see. My opponent do anything? He should attack. I am blocking. Give me that damage. Give it to me. Then what's your follow-up? A morph yourself, you say, eh? Oh, and a Rough Rider. Well, if we draw a red source, and get it placed on turn 5, we'll just have drawn like none other. Revealing that guy, because I'm going to play it this turn. Opponent's tapped out. Could have just played it now, I guess, but whatever. A little bit of damage there. Rock and roll that dude. Yeah, I had raid, but I had no cards to raid back. I only have, what, 4 in the entire deck? 3 2-drops, 1 1-drop, which I mull around with earlier. Do I block this morph? Probably. My opponent only has 4 mana, so I can't get 2 blown out with the Timely Horde Mate, and it's pretty much done its duty. Opponent does not want to make that trade. I can't block because my opponent has any instant or anything. I'm just blod. Yeah. So I just need a red source. I have 5, remember? I have so many in the deck, which I thought was overkill, but no, it's not. Ooh, a Wind Scout. Tradesies? I guess I'll attack with both. See if my opponent wants to play around some kind of trickaroo. Not that that's great for me, but I'm not going to be able to block next turn because my opponent will be at 5 mana, so... And that means this is like a Jeskai whatever, and then I just get blown out, so I am blocking. Means I'm still taking damage, but maybe I get this race on with the Trumpet Blast to sneak through a finish. My opponent probably presumes I have a warrior build, which means my opponent has to be very careful about racing, but doesn't really care, as I was saying. Because my opponent might start thinking about defensive stuff, but I guess my opponent didn't block. That makes sense. I assumed the 5th land was coming down. Alright. Opponent's going for the race. If I have a Rush of Battle in hand, that's really bad for my opponent, right? I mean, I happen to be losing this race. I need to draw something I can play that's relevant to the board, like a removal spell. Or one of my red sources. Hey, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I can't win with the Trumpet Blast, so I'm not going to play it. My Mountain pre-combat. I'll just try to keep on bashing. Don't think my opponent can kill me next turn. Definitely not if I have my backup dude here. Alright. Do you have your 5th land now? Some super duper powerful spell? I do not feel confident this Trumpet Blast is going to get enough through, though. Hey, if the Rough Rider gets through, maybe there's a hope. Thing is, do I block? If the 5th land comes down, which my opponent didn't have last turn, but my opponent drew, I can't block the Morse because the Efreet Weapon Master, which is, ooh, well, that's good. So I'm blocking if my opponent attacks. No, my opponent's not attacking in. Alright, I'm not blocking, but it's fine if I'm only getting 2 done to me. So no land, but 3 spells. Are they just expensive spells? Camping out in hand? Another morph. Well, I like that I have a backup here. I'm definitely attacking with a Watcher and the Mardu Rough Rider. I'm going to make it so the Jeskai student can't block in case there's another Defiant Strike, which is the only thing up that really blows out this Timely Horde Mate, because at least the Horde Mate will trade with one of the morphs. The Mardu Rough Rider would have to be double blocked, and then maybe I just fire off the Trumpet Blast. Well, that seems silly. We'll just get our 2 in the air. But we'll start clearing the board away and still have our flyer and an Unyielding Crew more afterward. That seems fine by me. I just don't want the Defiant Strike to really get me if like the Jeskai student blocks the Timely Horde Mate. You cannot block. Alright, what you up to? You got to blocks, some way or another. You're taking 2 for sure. Making some trades, making some trades. My opponent pretty much has to block this, 5, 6, 7. I mean, how do you not? Yeah. Which means what, double block here? That's it? Some chumps? Well, these trades, and that's a chump. I'm very okay with that. Mystic? Wow, those are really good cards. Yeah, stuck. Huh, interesting. Interesting. Just bust a move on the Unyielding Krumar. Favorable trade for me, as well as eating a Mystic. So now I feel a lot more confident. This opponent must have some power in hand, though, being stuck on 4 mana, not casting the spells, and just hitting the morphs down. I feel quite fortunate I was able to get the Krumar out with first strike of mana up, no less, even though I don't think I'm going to block the Jeskai student, again, because Defiant Strike, and I don't think I care that much about 3 points of damage. Alright, well, I'll block the morph. I don't think there's anything that does enough damage. Oh, Trumpet Blast. My opponent could be playing Trumpet Blast. You know, I didn't think about that because that's Jeskai isn't generally the deck that plays it, but I could totally do it. Ooh. Okay. Lifelink. Jeskai Charm. Makes sense. That's powerful. I'm definitely going to give my dude some first strike action. I don't need to let you gain any more life. Should still be able to kill my opponent if the math's right. I don't know. Opponent's gaining 7 here, up to 13, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, Trumpet Blast should do it. My opponent can't really do anything anymore now. Alright, let's attack. Ta-da! Yay! Alright, so Jeskai Charm, A. It wasn't a Efreet Weapon Master. I didn't notice that earlier. So really nice morphs. Seems to have a good Jeskai deck, to be honest. Jeskai Student, Wind Charm. Just we all mold down to Oblivion. I'm not too sure I agree with how my opponent was blocking and playing morphs, but being stuck at 4, I can't really criticize a whole lot. If anything, I should just be scared. My opponent has a very cohesive Jeskai deck, while I don't. Smite the Monstrous. Only target we saw was a Weapon Master, and the Throttles, which is what I'd be substituting, kind of take care of that, even though it's 1 more mana. I didn't see a lot. In fact, mostly in Jeskai, Smite I don't think I want at all. I'd rather have the Throttles. I'm not particularly interested in the Act of Treason. It does seem to be a race match, though. But Act is not like a bunch of big bombs or anything, and if we're just racing, I'd rather just get there faster. So, let's keep it the same way. Running it back. Ooh, did I want to see DC's? I don't think so. I don't think I want to see DC's bet. Now here's a decent hand. Quite a fantastic hand. I'm keeping, my opponent's keeping. We're gonna have a real game now. Boink. Alright. Ooh, that's a fantastic draw. Opponent has a good 2-drop. We can injury it, though I haven't seen. Ooh, yeah, I think we'll do an injury. What do I want to do? How do I want to sequence my plays? I can just get the Skull Hunter out and take some damage. If I'm not the aggressor, I don't mind just using the injury to kill the Bonkin. But then on turn 3, I'm not doing anything anyway. Sure, it gives me a chance to draw a creature to get the Skull Hunter out. Thing is, my opponent has tons of morphs that are better than Enoch Bonkin that are probably going to be played, so we'll just go ahead and play our 2-drop. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Because I think turn 3 is going to be injury, whatever your morph is. Since we saw Mystics and Weapon Masters. Or a Wind Scout. Not as fantastic, but still very, very playable. Or very, very killable, I should say. I should definitely say. Do I want to go on the defensive? I don't think so. I think I want to continue a little bit of a race here, since what my follow-up's going to be is pretty nice. We're trading 2 for 2. I'm not falling too far behind. Defeat, Rough Rider, Scavenger should end up doing nice things against what my opponent has. We get the... Don't get to play anything next turn unless I draw. So I have a lot of good draws. There's a morph. Ooh, that's actually a great draw. Fantastic, in fact. We'll just go ahead and kill the next guy. Oops. I should probably tap correctly. Another Weapon Master. There we are. I'm going to keep the attack on. Feeder resistance available. Again, a little bit behind in the race, but we should be able to turn that around really quickly here. Opponent's still going in for it, not outlasting, which is, I think, good, because once it becomes a 3-2, then it's a lot more difficult to deal with. Scaldkin. Don't care about the Scaldkin. That much, I should say. Go ahead and attack in with the Skull Hunter again. Opponent does not block. Alright, what do I want? A Scavenger or Mardu Rough Rider? Let's put the pressure on. This guy's good. My opponent's tapped out. Can't counter it with a Jeskai Charm at the moment. Suddenly, I'm winning the race. If that's all that's left. And then we got some life gain, Feeder Resistance up next turn. Can wait until the graveyard's a little more stacked to make the Sultai Scavenger more tasty. So we can just now at this point protect the Mardu Rough Rider with our feeder. Oh, well. Slows it down a little bit because I can use the feat on this guy to get the Singing Bell Strike to drop, but it'll still like not untap. But it allows me to play the Watcher of the Roost as a morph. End of my opponent's next turn, I can do Feeder Resistance on the Bell Strike, let it drop, and then my opponent will be somewhat surprised. Ooh, and a Throttle? That's a great backup plan. But for now, do I want this Scavenger though? Nope. Get this guy down. So I get a little bit of a beat here. I'll take 5 damage, but I think it's worth it. And I still have the feat for anything silly. I could always reveal. I don't think so. I don't even die to a Flying Bell Strike, right? I don't think so. The thing is, it gets a little precarious. I'm going to be at 4, if my math's correct, when this all goes down. I'm thinking like a few turns ahead, I'll have 2 life, go up to 9. If I were to take another 5 on a crackback, I'd be down to 4. That's where that 4 came from, by the way. Another morph. I would like to reveal the Feeder Resistance. And then I would like to pay 2. Targeting this guy. Protection from blue. Alright. How do I want to do this? Attack in, this guy can't block, I do 6, 7, 8, I do 10 damage to my opponent. I cannot kill my opponent. My opponent's down to 3. However, I'm 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly dead on the crackback. Can I do Throttle as well as Scavenger? No. What I can do, play the Hate Blade? No. I just have to do Throttle for nothing. Skullkin can take out something. I'm still going to go for the attack and then keep up Throttle. I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe just play it safe. Yeah, we're just going to attack with these 2. You can't block. That just keeps a nice blocker back. It doesn't change the clock by attacking with the Skull Hunter, so it's just a nice blocker here. I wish I had one more black source. I guess it doesn't matter, because I mean, I'd have to have a lot more sources to do Scavenger and Thrall at the same time. My opponent went for it. Okay. Now I have to decide, well, my opponent doesn't have a counterspell, which I assume my opponent didn't have based on the Feeder Resistance resolving. Do I want to Throttle something now or wait till next turn? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm going to wait. Do it on my opponent's turn. Dun, 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 dun. Probably just going to Throttle the Mystic. Let me see what happens when I do that. Does it resolve? In case my opponent has like the Jeskai Charm or something, I want to know what's going on. I guess it doesn't really change my block, so I'm probably just going to block anyway. So my opponent can have a Jeskai Charm and then throw the Scaldkin out. It won't really do it, will it? Okay, so you're doing... Oh no, so you're going for the lifelink. Interesting. My opponent must have just done the math and know that that is favorable. Interesting, though. Jeskai Storm's still alive. Or sorry, the Mystic died, though, so I don't know what just happened. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we're definitely blocking, because otherwise I'm dead. You gain a bunch of life. 6, 7, 8. It's not enough. I can't exactly kill ya. But I got enough blockers to keep this going for a little while. Isn't this a counter? That's the other one's a counter. Got it. I thought the Jeskai Karm had the counter in it. Which one has the counter in it? Must be Mardu then, right? No, because there's no blue in Mardu. I don't know. I should know this by now. Well, I could go ahead and play the Ponyback Brigade face down and play my Mardu Hateblade with Death Touch up. I kind of like that idea. This has 4 damage, though, in the air to me no matter what, correct? So how do I lose? Maybe I do just want the Scavenger. Yeah, I can do Scavenger, Hateblade, and Ponyback Brigade face down. So we're just going to attack him with everything. The Hateblade is just going to go in front of the Anok Bonkin anyway, which means I don't need to have Death Touch available. We're just using it as a chumper. And we're just going to dump the hand to make sure that we have lots and lots of blocks. Is my opponent considering making a trade here? Don't think that really helps. I think this needs to go to the face or try to win the race. But right now my opponent only has a 2-turn clock. Takes it, that's nice. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goal Scavenger! Scavenge away. Hope you don't counter that, because I get scared. And then we got D. We got all the D in the world. Resolve! Resolve! Who are you killing? Targeting me? Now that's interesting. Maybe there's another something. I mean, there's direct damage, that's for sure. Like another Jeskai Charm. I could definitely die here. Or like an Arrow Storm. So maybe opponent's just like, hey, ooh, Treasure Cruise? Yep. Alright. Land Arrow Storm would be pretty nutty, and I would have to give that to my... Land? Oh my gosh! So nutty. Nutty, 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 nutty! I kind of want to goad my opponent and ask for Arrow Storm in the chat, but I don't like when people do that to me, so I will restrain myself. I will have discipline. Well, my opponent has something. Maybe. Going for it. Seeing what I do. Play it to the end. Jeskai student! Alright. I don't think there's anything that gets it here. I think we're good. Right, my opponent's tapped out. One guy can't block, has to chump here. Yeah, we're good. Yay! You can't block. Alright. Almost got there with that treasure cruise if there was an Aerostorm in that deck. Almost got there, but didn't. So instead, we'll see ya up in round 2 here's.